Hi. It's been a while since I was a disembodied voice floating behind a speed paint. And there's a reason for that. Actually, many reasons for that, which I'll get into. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I've jumped from posting a video like 3 to 4 times a month to just once a month this year. That's actually because one of my New Year's resolutions was to post less videos. But, that's me getting ahead of myself. I need to gradually get to the more serious, emotional stuff through a numbered list, cause it's YouTube. Also, just for those who are here just to know if I'm gonna go back to making art videos, yeah, most likely, but I'm not gonna be afraid to post face videos either. So, reason 1. I'm the DM for a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which is the lamest reason. But it's kind of silly, but for the past few months, it's just been at the forefront of my mind. I guess I just got very excited over having a story actually be brought to life, and have my friends be able to walk around in the story and see it unfold before their eyes. And just, that's so exciting to me! Most of the art I've been doing recently have been either tattoo designs, or characters for this campaign. And I can't just post speed paints for most of them, because my friends are also Stans, and they'll see, and then, there we go, spoilers! The speed paint that I'm doing right now is actually for it. It's a cyberpunk post-apocalyptic campaign, and this is Jester and her really cool haunted truck that I don't know how to draw, Brittany. Her name is Brittany, the truck. They're the main NPCs, so I could post this. I'm thinking also maybe posting the NPCs that I can't show to my Patreon. But, I've got some issues with Patreon right now, which I'll get into later. I'll probably put a Google Doc of their sessions in the description if anyone, wants to see. I've worked really hard on it. I don't know, man. It's really fun. There's at least one clown. Most of the NPCs are playing card themed. And we just finished the first episode. And it's all typed, so you don't have to, listen to my voice any longer than that. Oh, that's a good little transition to my second reason. My voice. It's my second most hated feature that I have about myself, for many reasons. And videos like this, where there's a speed paint and then it's my voice, it forces me to focus on it. Cause, the speed paint portion, I draw that in, one sitting, and then I speed it up, and then that's pretty much all I have to do. Add some pictures at the end, maybe add a few little, text portions, just for fun. I don't know, that part's not that much. But my struggle is just with my actual voice. I can barely stand hearing myself in real time. And having to listen to it over and over and over again, and try to fix every imperfection, edit out every little pause that feels too long, or every time I talk about a subject for a little too long, and just chop all of it up because who cares? Stop talking! It forces me to pay more attention to it, and it's so hard to just listen to it and just let things be with me. Which is part of the reason why I have my friend edit most of my videos nowadays. Because I can't stand to sit there and listen to me, because it's just not really something I can do that good. And my lisp. On video, it's really funny, because on videos where I mention my lisp, and how much I hate my lisp, I get a wave of comments saying oh, it's nice, and that you guys love it. And in videos where I don't, I get a wave of comments insulting how disgusting I sound. And comments that are just hey, you've got a lisp. Your voice sounds disgusting. I don't know what you're saying. I can't understand what you're saying because your voice is so fucked up, and I need you to know this. Because I just need you to know this. I need you to just fester on this. And the thing is, my lisp isn't even that bad anymore. It was horrible as a child. But I don't know, comments specifically about my lisp, and just having to listen to my lisp. I can't rewatch my own videos because I just can't stand to hear myself. And it just hits so hard because I've had to deal with this my whole life. When I was younger, my mom actually told me that I have a lisp because I'm too stupid to learn how to talk right. And that was just a straight up lie, but she didn't tell me until I was older that it was because it runs in my family. It's all about the shape of the bones in my face, and I have a handful of aunts and uncles and cousins who also have lisps because that's just a part of us. It has nothing to do with the brain. But at that point, I already told myself for years that I'm too stupid to learn one of the most basic functions, and that it's all my fault. Adding on to that, I used to be really quiet. From age 9 to 12, definitely. Probably before that as well. I rarely spoke in public. And when I did, it was to my friends or when a teacher would force me to speak. And even then, it felt agonizing. But I had to do it because talking is something that everyone's supposed to do. I don't know, I was taught from a young age that I only exist to be a nuisance, which is funny to say now, but as a child that fucked me up. Back then no one listened to anything that I said because I don't know, I guess I was too young. People thought that just being as young as I was, I didn't have any they thought that I wasn't able to say anything that had actual meaning to it. It was like I was a family pet instead of an actual person. It felt like they didn't think that I had a brain or any thoughts. And it was so frustrating. My parents didn't listen to anything that I said with both ears and full attention until I was 12, because I guess that's when they decided that my brain was developed enough to make any sense. And it was so frustrating, because I'd tell them something, or I'd ask them to look at something, or I'd try to have a conversation with them, and they wouldn't even look away from the TV or newspaper, and they'd only give a, oh yeah, that's nice. That doesn't even fit into the conversation. And at school, the bullies bashed it into my head that there's a reason nobody's listening. And it wasn't until I was 13 that I decided, fuck that. No one around me wants to hear what I say, but I do. I want to hear myself, and I want to know what I say. Because I've never really talked before, so I don't know what I'd say in these situations. I want to know. And I guess it was a bizarre transformation, leaving school as a quiet kid and then coming back at the end of the summer as, the loudest and most obnoxious one. I might have given a few classmates whiplash. I didn't get sued for it, so that's fine. And at first, whenever I started talking, I'd just say, complete nonsense. Just, talking just to talk. Never anything too serious, because nobody's allowed to know that I think, I've decided. And then a lot of stuff happened. I had a bunch of panic attacks at once, and I was diagnosed with a panic disorder and major depressive disorder and put into therapy, where the point of it was to talk about serious things. And that was the first time I allowed myself to do that, and it just felt so good to air out everything locked in me. And then my parents pulled me out of therapy because it was too expensive, and I'm still not back in it. But I learned that talking to my friends isn't the same thing, but it's way closer than shutting it all in. And then whenever I got a YouTube channel, I talk so much about everything to you guys. I told you all some pretty personal things about myself because whenever I was that young, quiet kid, the only thing that I really had was people online talking about things. And that's just how I kind of learned to be a person, from gaining empathy, from listening to other people's stories. And I wanted to be the same help to you guys. I also told too much about a lot of my stories, which I sort of regret now. With the amount of people asking or even just claiming to steal my characters and stories. I mean, it's my fault they're out there, but still, that hurts. A story being similar to mine in some aspects wouldn't bother me to a point. If someone wrote a story about an alien or, a ghost moving in together, I wouldn't be like, hey, you stole my exact story. I'd be like, that's a cool concept that I also did, but I didn't do anything with, and I'm excited to see what you do to it. So stuff like that, it wouldn't bother me to a point, but like going into my face and saying you'll take the thing I worked hard on and put your name on it is just kind of rubbing it in. And to be fair, I've kept quiet about most of the important things for these stories, but still, why did I do that? And to go on to the whole, like, quiet kid becoming the loud kid thing, nowadays I feel like I say too much. I can't be comfortable in silence around people anymore, because I feel like if I don't say something, they'll think I'm rude. But if I do say something, I'm obnoxious, and then just like, it feels like the words just spill out of my mouth without filter. And I don't really say anything nasty or rude, just like, sad. And I've been going by that motto of, it doesn't matter if nobody wants to hear what I say, I do. But the thing is, I don't. Not anymore, and not for a long time, actually. I haven't really cared for what I say or think. I've done it all before. I've done it so much. I'm tired of hearing myself. I've longed to go back to those days where I was the quiet one, and I wish I could just close my mouth and never open it again, but that's just gonna worry those around me who's used to me speaking. 'Cause, like, if the quiet kid doesn't talk for a day, you don't do anything. But if the loud kid doesn't talk for a day, you're concerned, you wonder what's wrong, you're worried, because that's out of the ordinary. But really, all these years have been out of my ordinary, 'cause I'm the quiet kid who just forced myself into talking. It's just been so long, I think I'm the only one who remembers that. And now, we go to reason 3. My perspective of this channel changed for the worst. This video's already like so long, so let me just make it longer. It's my video, and I get to air out all my issues at once. So let me paint you a picture. I'm 9. I'm obsessed with YouTubers like The Computer Nerd 01 and Jenna Marbles. And I see that these people, they just sit in their rooms and they make silly videos and people like them and enjoy them. Immediately, I want to be a part of it. I'm also a dumbass. I actually thought that it was illegal to show my face on the internet until I was 16, which is actually a pretty good thing to disbelieve. Spent the next 7 years becoming attached to and phasing out tons of different YouTubers into and out of my heart, I guess. And I do lame things, like I'd pretend to do get ready with me's while I'm getting ready for school, or like weird vlogs to myself. Things like that. Don't pretend you've never done it too. You've absolutely done it. And I had for years the idea that I'm gonna make amazing art and post speed paints and become the next Sophie Chan or Mark Crilly, because that's who were the top artists back then. And I spent so many years waiting anxiously to start posting videos. And then finally, it's like 2014, and I do. I have a channel somewhere on YouTube with like 10 really old speed paints. And after 5 years, most of them have less than 100 views. So I post for like a year or two on this channel, and I realized that, no, it's not gonna happen. And that's fine. There's just such a small chance of having a channel that anyone would actually watch, so I'm just not part of that. And I'm sad, but I get over it. I guess I'm not cut out for it. Now 2 years later, I'm 18, I've got a group of internet friends. It's my first internet friends, at age 18, and they want to see my sketchbooks, but I can't just invite them over like with my other friends. So I spend 3 hours just shittily recording me digging through all of them in one sitting. And the lighting's bad, the camera's focus is bad, the stuff I say is stupid, and I talk like I talk around my friends, which, for a teenager at my age, was stupid. I talk so stupidly. And I don't care about how my voice sounds or how shitty my jokes are. I just, like, edit it sloppily, and then I post the first 4 sketchbooks. And then I'm tired of editing, so I stop, and then I forget about it for 4 months, because why should I care? the most I'll get is like 20 views, most from my friends, and the rest might just be people who stumble on it, see that I'm annoying, and then click off. That's not what happens. The first sketchbook video had over 1,000 views, and I panicked. I'm like, what? I've never had this many views on anything pertaining to my existence before. The comments are a mix of good and rude ones, but I don't care. This is wild. So I post some of the sketchbook videos that I had finished over the past 4 months, just never posted because I forgot, I didn't care. And then the rest of the week, I get up to like 10,000 views on the first video. The other ones are around 1,000, a little less, a little more, who cares? And there's more comments. And on the other sketchbook videos, they're kind of nice. But on the first sketchbook video, it's mostly rude comments insulting how I speak and what I say and my art and just like everything. So I already recorded all of these sketchbook videos. I can't just go back and stop myself from saying the things that I say. So the further along the videos I edit, the more stupid things I edit out. And then I post them all. And then people ask for more videos. And I think, whoa, I might be able to do this. I start posting more and more random videos, and people seem to like them. But the first speed paint video won't stop climbing in popularity. It gets up to 200,000 views, and at least half of the comments are negative. It's still the video with the most views on my channel, and it doesn't matter how many of them are from other videos. I can't shake it out of my head that most of my subscribers are people who think I'm cringe, or people who are hate following me, which isn't actually the truth, but I'm always in a really bad headspace. I was in a specific really bad headspace back then. I'm in a different one now, which I understand that most of you guys aren't hate followers, but I still feel that nagging in the back of my head. So I make more videos, a lot about my OCs, and people like those the best, so I'll keep making those. Oh, I'm out of stories that I'm comfortable with spilling everything about? Well, the good followers who aren't hate following me are here for those, so if I stop making those, I'll be stuck with the ones who hate me. I'll just sacrifice some stories that I didn't want to spill, cause I gotta keep them happy. Oh, I'm posting all the time, but I'm not making enough money from my channel to move out? I gotta make more, I've gotta spill more information that I don't want to spill. Oh, I went to college, and the result from everything that happened there is crushing me to the point where I'm not sure if I'll survive it? Sure, I'll take a little break, make sure you survive. Oh, the momentum from the cringe video slowed down? You'll never make it to the point where you can support yourself like this. Force yourself to make videos. You can't lose them. You'll be back to being useless. Put on those headphones and listen to yourself for hours. I don't care that you're disgusted at yourself. That's what you deserve after wasting everyone's time in college. And your whole life, I guess. This is your punishment. I'm locking you in a room with the one person you despise the most. Yourself. If you don't shove those videos out, you'll never be worth anything. What are you doing? No, come back. Put those headphones back on. Get back. Get out of that bed. Can't you hear me? What was the whole fucking point of this? You've been doing this for a year. Are you just gonna let it slip away? You can have a break when you're dead. And that was the point that I had to step back. Originally, I made videos to show my friends. Just these little silly things about my art. And then once I got a following, I made them to make people happy because I wanted them to be happy. I wanted to be something that would make people happy. And I was even open about a lot of things, like mental illness and sexuality. Things that you don't hear about a lot, especially from people with status, because the more you're seen, the more backlash you'll get. And it's worth it to me, having an inbox full of hate, for that one comment of someone like, "You're like me! I didn't think anyone was like me. You didn't fix me, but you made it a little easier for me to breathe." And those comments are what I live for. They're just why I'm so honest. But over time, it turned from like me cooking and bringing extra lunch to school to feed my friends like as a gift, to me cooking and bringing an extra lunch and giving it to the school bully out of fear of what will happen to me if I don't. And that's so unhealthy. I've accepted that I'll never be able to financially support myself with my internet presence. And I'm fine with that. I'm still not financially stable, but not desperately grabbing for any ledge. I just thought that I needed to get big to survive, and I was hurting myself desperately trying to make that so. But that was really unhealthy, and I don't regret stepping back, even if it cost me, like, a chance to gain a bunch of subscribers, a bunch of followers, a bunch of money. And yeah, it hasn't fixed every issue that I've had. Honestly, it's barely fixed anything. But that's just like one less weight on my shoulder. I still think that I don't deserve any of my subscribers, and I haven't posted much to Patreon recently or fixed my Redbubble because those are financial choices my fans are making, and I don't deserve it. You shouldn't buy my merch because I don't think it's good enough. And I think that it's a waste of money for people to do anything that supports me. I have a bunch of things on my Patreon, but I haven't been updating it because I don't think you should join it, because I don't think I deserve that. The stuff there is like old and just not worth it in my eyes. Downright deleting it would be rude. So maybe if I make it boring, nobody will follow it. I know that's also not a healthy way to look, but that's the one I'm working on right now. And after I post this video, I think I'll try to work on that. Maybe make everything on my Patreon accessible for $1, and if I ever get enough confidence again, I might boost that up. But, like, I don't know, figure out how to put a schedule so it updates weekly or something. Because that's been eating at my gut, just, like, that just feels like horrible behavior to you guys that I've been doing. I mean, it's not much money that I've made from it, but still, it's not even about that. I was just disrespecting you guys when all I wanted to do was disrespect myself. And I'm sorry for my behavior with that. You know, it's kind of weird that I'm doing all this on a drawing of, like, a punk clown cyborg and her truck girlfriend, but I mean, that's the Periwinky brand. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I do love you, Boofs. I'll try to make more videos, but in the meantime, I'll keep working on bettering myself, because you guys kind of deserve much, not kind of, you guys absolutely deserve much more than what I am at the moment. Oh shit, I already said love you. That's it!